Ladies and gentlemen, former President Trump, will be returning to not just Twitter, but Facebook also very soon. The January committee did not indict Trump. That was the pretext, that was the justification for the indefensible. So all of these companies said Trump is a menace. His words influence people to commit crimes. And they unilaterally banned Donald Trump and suspended his accounts. We know from the Twitter files this was by design. This was a concerted effort by government agencies working with Democratic politicians and morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats on Twitter who worked for Twitter to not only suspend the New York Post, the accurate reporting on Hunter's laptop from you know where, showing possible graft and potential bribery schemes, but a concerted effort to silence and suppress 250,000 conservative and Republican profiles and accounts on Twitter, for example. And now he's back. It only took, what, 2 years? He will be returning to Facebook and Twitter. He formally asked Facebook. Twitter has already reinstated his account so he can go back, and Truth Social benefits. So the rebuttal is, well, Truth Social would be harmed if that's not true at all. That's not true at all. Or that's not accurate. He can first, write a message on Truth Social, or he could pin the Truth Social message on Twitter and Facebook. He'll have more opportunities because it's not like you don't have an Instagram account if you have Facebook or Twitter. You can have numerous accounts. You can have a whole bunch of accounts on different platforms. So this doesn't hurt him at all in terms of Truth Social. But if he's number one in the Republican Party already, without, see, they have tried desperately to prevent his message from being heard by millions. It's still heard by millions. Now we know that from the Twitter files, there is a concerted effort. There is a concerted and organized effort to break free speech and First Amendment laws. Okay, the government cannot get involved. It's really funny because in the first Twitter files, there was no reference of Democratic politicians or government agencies like Homeland or the Bureau specifically working with Twitter officials. Then in the subsequent Twitter files 2 to like 15, that's all it was about. So the rebuttal from all these hilarious comical pundits was, well, read the First Amendment. Read the First Amendment. Don't you know that it's government involvement? We don't see any government involvement in the first Twitter files. There's nothing to see here. It's a nothing burger. Then the subsequent Twitter files were all about government interference. Then they switched their tune, and then just like they did with the Biden classified documents, it's not about the classified documents, it's about him cooperating. It was never about cooperation, it was about potential criminal conduct, which, by the way, they couldn't get Trump on, but they could easily get Biden on for a number of reasons. But we have in Twitter files like 2 through 15, we have endless examples of government getting involved to silence and suppress a political view. They cannot do this. So Trump is not perfect, but he's a force of nature. Does he say things that he Here's the thing. President Trump did great things in terms of foreign policy and even better things in terms of economic policy. Okay? The economy is in turmoil right now. We're going into a recession in 23. Again, we had record low poverty with Trump in 2019. We had the Doha Agreement, which brought Americans home, that Biden was forced to abide by because of Trump negotiating it. And Biden completely botched that. Those 13 Americans should be alive today. Those over 100 Afghans should be alive today. Our beloved president, who inexplicably utilized our mortal enemies to help us leave. I mean, nothing made any sense. Mashed potato brains completely messed that up, as he did with everything else. But Trump did a lot of great things: record low poverty, record highs in household median income. Um, we had real wages up, real wages are down now. But the thing is, yes, do his words create political momentum for his adversaries? Absolutely. Do his words or rhetoric? I love when they don't use the word rhetoric when it comes to Biden, who is far more abrasive, but the media covers for him. You look and it's like, I mean, Biden actually like used profanity against a reporter. Trump never did that. And could you imagine if Trump did that? I mean, it would be endless indignation and pontificating. But yeah, his words are they take away from his accomplishments. So you don't really a lot of the things that he did accomplish are overlooked because of the apoplectic frenzied hysteria over what he says. Hit subscribe, by the way, to this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we find out the exact criminal charges leveled at Alec Baldwin. Almost certainly he will have criminal charges. Almost certainly he'll have criminal charges leveled against him. And I explained that in numerous segments, and nobody's interested right now. I mean, nobody's interested, but people will be interested tomorrow. New Mexico got $300,000 in funding. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. New Mexico time, which I believe is 10 a.m. Pacific time, we will have the the we will have the decision. So be here at 11 a.m. Definitely 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. every morning, and I will have a live stream tomorrow evening for sure in the afternoon also. And I've explained the nuts and bolts and the basics of what took place. He should have waited for the armorer in the church. He did not wait for the armorer in the church. That was the real issue. Okay, he hired the armorer. He along with others as executives hired the armorer for the movie, who was supposed to be there whenever firearms were involved and inspect and make sure nothing was loaded. And he pointed, aimed, and discharged the firearm, pulled the trigger of the firearm. And so you have a situation where he used I believe, Colt 45. And he then said he didn't, and it wasn't his fault, and he didn't actually, do what he was accused of. And the whole thing was an absolute debacle. And tomorrow we will find out categorically. I believe it'll be around 10:30, or 11 a.m. Pacific time. So be here tomorrow, because this will be the biggest news and the most widely publicized trial. And we will find out throughout this trial a lot more than we did during, within the year, the reporting from, TMZ, LA Times, all these publications. Will find out during this trial just how inept and incompetent the people running that movie set were, unfortunately. And you're going to see somebody, unfortunately. I mean, here's the thing. If you want to talk about Trump returning to Facebook and Twitter, Alec Baldwin lived on social media. And he never changed his tune. He never changed his, social media presence. His social media presence grew after the tragedy. Okay. Instagram followers associated to him went to a million followers on Instagram. So it's like, it's just unbelievable how this world operates now in terms of media and public relations. I mean, the second that tragedy took place and he accidentally ended someone's life, then you got weeks later, oh, Baldwin, enjoys Halloween or the Christmas. It's like, what? Why are we finding out about this? And then all of these like public relations, articles about how he's, him and so went to dinner. It's like, what? What? How does that even happen? You ended someone's life accidentally, and then it's Trump who should be removed from Facebook and Twitter. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. If anyone should have been removed, it was the person that accidentally ended someone's life. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Definitely be here at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. tomorrow and every day on this channel. Become part of a Patreon. To my new Patreons, I can't thank you enough. My super thanks is below. And go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, and other publications. Thanks, everybody. Be here tomorrow. Big day.